Hello again, welcome back to Animated Literacy. This is lesson number 14 from the Story, Song, and Action book. In this lesson, we're going to be learning about actress Annie and her story, her song, her gesture, and her sound. Before we do that, we're going to be once again reviewing some of our sounds. So in our last lesson, I gave you a quick introduction to Winky Walrus, and Winky Walrus washes his whiskers like this, or he wishes like this, or you can wash your whiskers and wish at the same time. And so if we put that into Are You Sleeping, we have a choice of doing our bell sounds, our pup sounds, our rat sounds, or our cat sounds. So let's see which one we're going to do today. Everybody wash your whiskers. Show me wishing. Are you washing and wishing? Are you washing and wishing? Winky Walrus, Winky Walrus. Winky's cats are saying, Winky's cats are saying, wee-ow, 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 wee-ow. What would his rats say? Week, week, week. And his pups would go wark, 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 and his bells would go wing, wong, wing. We also did a short introduction to Hippy Hippo in our last lesson. And I told you Hippy Hippo has a harmonica. And so he's holding his harmonica up like this with kind of a rectangle, and he's blowing his hot air through it so you can go. I brought a harmonica with me today so you can see what a harmonica sounds like. Now, I don't really play harmonica, but I can still make a sound with it. So if I go up to this side of the harmonica, I get a high note. But if I go down to this side, I can get a low note. Or I can get a middle note. Or you can go down, or you can go up. Okay, so everybody show me your harmonica like this, and pretend like you're making your harmonica hum. And we can do that first line. Is your harmonica hot? Is your harmonica humming? Are you humming into a harmonica? Any way that you'd like. So this time let's do it this way. Is your harmonica humming? Is your harmonica humming? Hippy hippo, hippy hippo. Hippy's rats are saying, Hippy's rats are saying, heek, 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 heek. I don't know if we've done this one before. This is Zachary Zebra and Xena Zebra. And this is Zeke, the zookeeper. And he let the zebras go, and they went zipping. And zipping is going fast, so pretend like you're pulling up your zipper real quickly and go zzz as you're pulling your zipper up. Or you can zigzag, which is the shape of their letter Z, and you can go zzz like this. So let's try a verse for those. This time let's do the little puppy. Little puppy, he goes bark, bark, bark. Zachary's puppy, he goes zark, zark, zark. Little rat, he goes squeak, squeak, squeak. Zachary's rat, he goes zeek, zeek, zeek. And so there we actually made the name of the zookeeper, Zeke. Today we're going to be learning about a new character, and whenever we learn something new, we have to think about what we already know. Why do we do that? We need to glue the new information I'm teaching to the old stuff that's already inside your head. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about is counting, and we've already learned a counting song, so we can go back and talk about that. So remember when we caught a fish and our count went like this. Put your hands up in the air and use your fingers with me. Say it after me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I caught a fish alive. I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I let it go again. Why did you let it go? Because it bit my finger so. Which finger did it bite? This little finger on the right. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah. Well, there's a lot of counting books, and adding is a lot like counting. It's just kind of a faster way to count. And so this is a book called How Many, How Many, How Many? And it talks about counting. And it goes like this. Are you ready? Tell me yes. How many minis can you guess? Count them, name them. Ready, go. How many do you know? He is nimble, he is quick. How many jumped over the candlestick? Do you remember the story of the candlestick? And this goes 1. Jack jumped over the candlestick. Here's another nursery rhyme. Spiders like to steal her seat. How many things does Muffet eat? 2. She eats curds and whey. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Here Goldilocks sleeps all alone. How many bears are coming home? Do you know the story of Goldilocks and how many bears? The 3 bears. The mama bear, the papa bear, the baby bear, and the baby bear. So you got mama's 1, papa's 2, so 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 and 1 more, mama makes 3 bears. This is a story of somebody named Annie who likes to add, and so this book is called Addition Annie, and it sounds like this. This is Annie. She adds things up. 1 and 1 are 2, so here's 1 plus 1 equals 2. Annie knows that's true. And so that book keeps going on and counting various things. This is a book from Brian Cleary that is called The Mission of Addition. And it kind of starts out like this. Adding is growing the total of things, like bubbles in bathtubs and bright, shiny rugs. Or bright, shiny rings, I'm sorry. 6 yellow buses were parked in a line. 3 pulled up behind them, and then there were 9. So 6 and 3 makes 9. So there's a lot of addition in that story. We have a lot of topics in the story we're going to be doing today. One of them is acting. Where do you find actors and actresses? You can turn on the television and you'll find people acting in many of the stories there. You can go to the movies and in this, here's some children who are acting, and here's some adults who are acting, and these are from Skybridge. So if you look up acting on Skybridge, there's a video that talks about actors and the kind of jobs that they have. Then we have a whole variety of topics, and these are all books from Skybridge. This one is about ants, and we're going to have ants in our story. What do you know about ants? If they get in our kitchen, it's not much fun because they kind of ruin our food. When I was little, I had some ants that climbed up into my pants, and some ants bite and some don't. Well, these happened to bite, and it was very uncomfortable when they were up in my pants. We're also going to learn about apples, and this is a book called Up, 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 It's Apple Picking Time. And here's the tree, and you may know that apples come from trees. What do they taste like? They're kind of sweet and crunchy, and sometimes you eat it with them with the skin, or some people like to peel the skin off. This is another story where we're going to have alligators in our story today. Where would you find alligators? This is a story about deep in the swamp, and alligators like to live in the water in the swamp. And this is based on an old song called Over in the Meadow, except that this one's more like Over in the Swamp. And it reads like this. Deep in the swamp where the water lilies thrive, lived a mother alligator and her little gators 5. Bask, said the mother. We bask, said the 5. What does it mean to bask? That's like when you're laying out in the sun and you're just enjoying the warmth. And because alligators are cold-blooded, they like to be in the sun to warm them up so they can move better. So they basked in the sun where the water lilies thrive. What does it mean to thrive? Oh, that means to be healthy and well and grow big and strong when you thrive. We're also going to have antelopes in our story. And in this book from Skybridge called African Animal Alphabet. It talks about different animals that come from Africa. And the antelope, it's kind of like a big deer, and because it has hoofs and it has horns, much like deer, and it lives in Africa. We're also going to have acrobats in our story. And this is a story called I Will Try. And this girl is being an acrobat. And so one of the things she's doing is doing the splits here. And here's some other acrobats in the back. And they're up on the high bar and twirling around. Or you can do somersaults and be an acrobat. The story we're going to be doing today is Actress Annie. Now, when Actress Annie was a little girl, Actress Annie wanted to grow up to be an actress. And so her friends helped her by playing a game where she was able to act like all kinds of things that begin with her sound. And she would add those on an abacus that has these little beads that you can move across on the abacus to count. And so first she started out acting like her letter. What kind of a letter does it look like Actress Annie is pretending to be? Here's a letter A, and she's got her hands up in the air like this, almost looking like a letter A. So each time she would do something, her friends would try to guess what she was acting like, and if they guessed correctly, she would give them a point on the abacus. So she's checking to see which of her friends can guess what she's acting like. Now she's kind of stomping and pretending like she's going to bite someone. So she's acting like an angry ant. And so the friend that guesses that first gets a point. Now here's a whole bunch of things that she acts like that we've already talked just a little bit about. She acts like an astronaut who's walking on the moon. She acts like an African antelope with his long horns. And here she is being an acrobat by standing on her head. And here she acted like an apple falling down out of a tree. And here she's acting like an alligator clasping its jaws together. So after she had done her acting and it was time to choose the winner, her friends got into an argument about who got the most points for guessing what Actress Annie was acting like. So Annie came to try to solve the argument. Well, she remembered that up in the attic of her house, which is kind of the room up above the other rooms in some houses, there was an abacus. And the abacus had these beads on it that she could move across and add. So Actress Annie and her friends used her abacus to add up the score for each of the people, and then there was no more argument as to who had won the acting game. So whenever you see our picture of Actress Annie, I want you to think about acting, think about the animals that she acted like, and adding has a special sign. The sign is one you can make with one line going straight up like this, so not like X where it's tipped over, it's going straight up and down. And then the other line goes like this, and that's our addition sign. So whenever you see that sign, it's telling you to add numbers. So everybody do this, and her sound goes ah for addings. So can you do that after me? Ah. Now if she were to sing Are You Sleeping, it would go like this. Are you adding? Are you adding? Actress Annie, Actress Annie. Annie's bells are saying, Annie's bells are saying, ah, 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 ah. So what kind of a sound is Annie's? It's a vowel. How did you know that? Because it's all by itself. It stands alone. Now Annie has a special song we're going to learn together. And I'm going to give you some gestures to go along with it as we're singing Actress Annie's song. So let's all start out by making an addition sign for Actress Annie. And sing this back to me. Actress Annie, Actress Annie, added. Now pretend like an ant is biting you. So ants are little, so here's their jaws, and it's biting you. So let's do that again. Actress Annie added ants. Actress Annie added ants. Now we're going to make an apple. You can have your apple falling down out of the tree. Annie added apples too. So let's go back and do that again. Actress Annie added ants. Actress Annie added ants. Annie added apples too. Annie added apples too. Now an alligator has these great big jaws, so show me the jaws of your alligator. Alligators, alligators. Antelopes have those big horns, so show me your horns like this. Antelopes, or not, they're not called horns on an antelope, they're called antlers. So show me your antlers. Alligators, antelopes. Alligators, antelopes. Acrobats, so show me an acrobat doing somersaults. Acrobats. And then an astronaut has that helmet that they wear. So pretend to put on your helmet and do like this. Astronauts. So let's do all those together. Alligators, alligators, antelopes. Alligators, antelopes. Acrobats and astronauts. Now show me your addition sign again. Added words that start with A. Now look at the shape of that letter A. How can you make a letter A? With your arms, your fingers, your muscles. I make my A like this. I make a capital A by putting my triangle down like this, and then I cross it this way. But you can make your A any way you want. Added words that start with A. Added words that start with A. Now we're going to pretend to move the beads on an abacus. Added on an abacus. Added on an abacus. Okay? So now let's try and do that whole song together, and then we'll do it with our recording. Ready? Actress Annie added ants. Actress Annie added ants. Annie added apples too. Annie added apples too. Alligators, antelopes. Alligators, antelopes. Acrobats and astronauts. Acrobats and astronauts. Added words that start with A. Added words that start with A. Added on an abacus. Added on an abacus. So now here's the words to Actress Annie's song. So I'm going to point to the words, and let's see if you can sing them like we just did and add the motions at the same time. Actress Annie added ants. Annie added apples too. Alligators, antelopes, acrobats, and astronauts. Added words that start with A. Added on an abacus. Okay, that was kind of short, so let's do that again and see if you can keep up with all of your gestures. Ready? One more time. Actress Annie added ants. Annie added
apples too. Alligators,
Okay, so when you get your paper for Actress Annie, I want you to take out your crayons and rainbow write over the capital A and the lowercase a. And A can be made two different ways. When we're printing, we usually make an A that looks like this. But when you find an A in a book, most of the time it's going to look like this. So you have one capital A and you have two different ways to make your lowercase or your small a's. Then we have Actress Annie's song and her gesture. Then when you're finished with doing your rainbow writing, turn your paper over on the back and you can draw me a picture, or you can draw a picture and write a sentence or a story that tells somehow that you're like Actress Annie. Do you ever try to act like certain kinds of animals? So you could name some animals or some people that you've tried to act like. Or you could tell me if you like apples or if other kinds of fruit that you might like to eat. Or are you ever an acrobat? Do you ever turn somersaults, or do you ever stand on your head or do things like that? Or do you ever pretend like you're walking on the moon, like you're an astronaut? So any of the things in Actress Annie's song, you can also, if you have ever had a problem with ants, you could tell me about your problem with ants. And I'll come around, and if you wrote the letters to write the sentence, then I'll show you what they look like in a book, and you can show me what they look like when you write them. Or if you don't write anything, you can tell me a sentence and I'll write it down for you, and then you can trace over the top of the sentence, or you can copy it underneath where I write it. So hope you enjoyed Actress Annie's story, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson.